What's up, you smexy individuals? My name is Birdman778 and welcome to another Godfall video. Today, I'm showing off my current build for Bulwark, one of the available Valor plates in Godfall. Now, I think this might be one of the best builds currently in the game, so definitely recommend you checking out everything that I have on this build. And also make sure you're stopping by my Twitch channel to see all these builds being made, twitch.tv/Birdman778. I stream every day starting at noon Eastern. But make sure you're also staying up to date on my Twitter, twitter.com/Birdman778 for any updates on my schedule or just bad memes in general. And also here on YouTube, youtube.com/Birdman778. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, the sub, and let's get on to the video. So a big thing about Bulwark is the fact that his entire kind of spiel is bleed. Bleed damage is exactly like it sounds. It's going to be loss of health over time. But a big part about his Archon is the fact that he can summon 3 physical sentinels whenever he activates it. They're going to do the same exact thing that even like Mobius does, where they just shoot the beam of energy. But for his, it's going to be physical damage shooting out. So it's really good for him. Also the fact that during the duration, it gets 90% chance to inflict bleed, 100% damage to bleeding enemies, and your attack deals physical damage. So essentially, let's say like this weapon that we currently have on, well, actually both of them do physical damage, but let's say that we had an weapon that does air damage. It's going to do air damage plus physical damage. So it's pretty nice all around because you can kind of like stack different abilities, stuff like that. But the biggest key of this entire build is a Sword of Courage. The primary effect, whenever you inflict bleed, shoot up to 2 projectiles that each deal 3,113 physical damage to enemies. This is absolutely insane. During those combat sequences that you see, or you're going to see later on the video as well, they're going to shoot out every time we hit somebody, and when we inflict bleed, and when they hit, they're going to do that physical damage plus what we have actually added on to it, whether it's our augments, our rings, our amulets, stuff like that. Which almost one-shots level 50 enemies almost immediately. It doesn't even matter what tier they're at. The mini bosses, they're not going to do as much to them, but it's still going to do an immense amount of damage. And it's really nice for kind of mobbing all around, because once you hit one guy, it's just going to take out everyone else. I have it complemented with this, the Emerald brand. Southern Technique deals 41% damage to full health enemies, with 31% damage to bleeding enemies and 7% chance to inflict bleed. This is really nice. It's kind of like if we want to like charge up our Sword of Courage with polarity, we can just kind of use this for a minute, but this is going to be your bread and butter. You almost will never change off this. This is everything. We have it complemented with the Amulet of the Betrayer. If you were to reduce to 0 health instead of remain at 1 health and become invulnerable for 5 seconds, and it's got a cooldown. This is really nice because it gives you a quick second to activate your life stone to regen health or just like get out of the fight. A Peacock Charm complemented with it. Blind nearby enemies whenever you use your life stone, and 7% chance to inflict bleed. Obviously this is great, so you hit that 0, 1%, and then you can activate this. Everyone goes blind, you gain health, you can get some either hits in or get pushed back real fast. A Sapphire Band, 18% shield charge speed if you have more spirit than other attributes. We currently don't. We obviously have more might, but we're going for more of those effects down below. The Archon Fury damage to Archon Fury charge speed. We want our Archon Fury as much as possible because especially against bosses, we want that physical damage to be constantly applied to them, as well as the chance to cause bleed. An Emerald Band, if you have more vitality than any other attribute, restore 162 health whenever you soul shatter an enemy. We obviously, again, we don't have more vitality, but those abilities down below, that 13% extra physical damage and 26% damage to bleeding enemies is very nice. Cosmic Aetherstone, 45% Archon Fury charge speed with 90% Archon Fury damage. Obviously it's going to be nice. Max mixed with the extra 13% physical damage, we're going to do 31% damage to bleeding enemies and 22 polarity attack damage. This is something really nice. If you were to have your Archon Fury ready, you're holding on this and this has got polarity on it, you activate polarity with that, and then you're going to get even more Archon Fury damage. And then activate your Archon Fury, you're going to get just so much damage. Like nothing will be able to stop you, essentially. Augment wise, pretty much just going to anything that's just going to give us a little bit of extra damage where we're at. Polarity attacks, attack charge whenever you soul shatter an enemy with longsword damage. Extra damage if on the adjacent red augments, and we get 91% from that with greatsword and weak point damage, mainly the weak point damage, and we're just trying to get that extra weapon technique damage. Absorption, gain 50% Archon Fury charge whenever 10 seconds when you hit a weak point. It's really nice with the polarity attack bonus. Everstorm, gain a blessing and power whenever you defeat an enemy with a polarity attack with weapon technique and weak point. A divine conduit with 50% Archon and Fury for 10 seconds whenever you are hit with overhealth with banners. Expanded mind, adjacent augments grant an additional 65% spirit when physical damage, overhealth, gain with banners. Paradise, weapon technique, charge speed for 10 seconds whenever you perform a critical hit, and 23% weapon technique damage. A Godspeed, 22% weapon technique, charge speed for 10 seconds whenever you parry an enemy with 27% damage to bleeding enemies. And then finally, this is kind of the creme de la creme, if I would say, the build, is whenever you activate Archon Fury, shoot 3 projectiles that each deal 9,797 physical damage to enemies with extra physical damage and shield damage. Now, whenever you activate your Archon Fury, those are going to shoot out and they're going to hit all the enemies nearby, dealing the physical damage that's already applied to it, plus all the bonuses, plus whatever you have boosted up with might. So again, this is absolute insane build for damage. It's kind of insane. And let's go over to the skill tree and see how that helps out. In the skill tree, pretty much exactly the same thing for most of our builds, because I think this is kind of the most effective for everything. Max weapon technique, max soul shatter, max crit, max archon, max crit damage, max might, max rampage, max polarity, max breach, max ailment, max takedown, max weak point, and max spirit. Now, only a couple points of finesse. I really just don't care for that third level, so I just don't really want to put any points into it right now. Once we kind of get down the line a little bit, get some more skill points, we'll eventually go down there, but it's just not a priority right now. And just a point in vitality, just so we can kind of get some extra vitality, get some extra health. Thank you so much to everyone for watching this video. I'm so excited to get this game going and just test it out and see what else I can get done, especially with each one of the characters, since they all have these unique abilities. But guess what? We're going to be doing that on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/birdman778. Again, stop on by to see all these builds being made. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be, and stay smexy.